So, here we are, the final episode of Saints Row 2. Today's going to be a bit of a weird episode. It's just going to be us going around the map, finding some weird things that are hidden through the game. We'll do the secret mission with Dex as well, if I remember to do that. But mostly it's just going to be us driving around and kind of just talking and seeing what we can find out here in the world. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this game. I've got a map open on my other monitor. There are 20... Oh, shit, there's 32 in total. We're not going to be able to see all 32, some of which aren't even worth seeing. Like for example, you know the Saints Row Church that we went into briefly yesterday? That's one of the secrets. So some of them aren't really worth going after because they are just like building interiors and weird shit. Like Dane Vogel's office, the thing that I tried to fly the helicopter into, the thing that, you know, where the last battle of the game takes place is another one of those secrets. The cool things are the islands. Those are where all of the weird Easter eggs are, the kind of surreal stuff. That's where we can... And the ultimate goal of today is to summon a cabot. Don't worry about what that is. You'll see when we go along with things. There's like a weird little... I don't know. I guess ARG is lack of better word here. You have to do things in a very specific order to get things to even spawn in. Certain locations won't even exist unless you visit the other locations in a specific order. So, where are we right now? We're out there, eh? There are a few... There's like the downtown glass walkway, which is just an area in downtown, counts as a secret. Some gardens on top of a roof counts as a secret. Like, some stuff is a bit weird. Skull Cave sounds like a cool one. We could go and have a look at that. That's apparently over here somewhere. That's apparently right there. We're going to see if we can find Skull Cave as one of the first ones. But yeah, it would just be kind of us having a chat today, really, talking about some of the aspects of Saints Row. I will admit I'm not running on much sleep today, so you'll have to bear with me if I'm a bit slower on the uptake than usual. Let's go and have a look then. I don't actually remember this one at all. Skull Cave. It's listed as underground on the wiki. Each secret has a different category. Most of them are just building exteriors, which are the ones that we won't really bother going to because they're not, you know, there's just like a fancy building and shit like that. There are apparently developer offices around where we are right now. Whereabouts is that? It's kind of difficult to ascertain from that. It's like actually around where that branded clothing store is. We're gonna have a look for that as well. That's one of the few internal ones. The only other one actually listed on the map is the Saints Row Church. So this one's fairly unique, I guess. We can actually find the bloody thing. I guess it's around the mall somewhere. Yeah, I guess it's around this side. Okay. I assume power lines we can fly into without having to worry about it. Well, that might be up there, actually. That building up there might be the offices, the thing that we just knocked down with our helicopter. Brilliant. My bad. Let's kind of have a look legally, see what we can find. Maybe some sort of entrance into the place somewhere. Oh, here we go. This has got to be it, right? Oh, yeah, this is almost certainly it. Okay. And this was... Yeah, oh, yeah, this is it. There you go. Developer offices found. So this was the Volition office until we flew a fucking helicopter into the window and, you know, brought the place down. Legal Lee's joining us today, by the way. I actually didn't ring him up. He just was here. I just loaded the game up and he was there, I guess, because he joined us in the final mission of the game earlier. And there it is. The Volition offices. I don't think there's anything particularly special in the fact that it's got their, you know, the little logo. I see one of the developers there, too. Bang. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I can jump off this illegally, but I'm not sure if you can. Okay, let's go find Skull Cave, then. Is he going to be stuck now? You want to get in? Oh, he's finding his way around. Give him some credit. He's trying his hardest. I'm looking at the minimap, just kind of watching him make very, very slow progress. You know what? I think he's going to make it. Yeah, come on. Come on. Yes, Legal Lee. What a guy. Pathfinding Supreme. Put Cyberpunk to shame. Okay. Let's be careful. Ooh, okay. So Skull Cave is apparently, somewhere over there. Oh, look. You see that? Going under the pirate ship. I bet that's it. Okay, we can kind of land here fairly safely, I think. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's go have a look. Bollocks. Do you think those are important? I think they're just missile launchers. I think we could probably live without them. Right, okay, so Skull Cave does seem to be on that side of the marina. Okay. Got to listen out for the door as well, because Elise isn't home. She's gone out for a walk. So, we've got to listen out and make sure that she actually gets home, because I think she left the key here. So if I have to disappear very suddenly, that's why. Skull Cave, yeah, there it is. Skull Cave found. What makes it a skull? Some stalagmites and stalactites. Skull Cave? What makes it Skull Cave? How strange. Is this it? Some secret, yeah. You can see why a lot of them I'm just choosing to ignore. Oh, it's the fucking shape of it, you fool. There you go. You can actually see the skull a little bit better there. Yeah, I guess so. Fine, alright. Fair enough, why not? Yeah, some of the secrets are a little bit just kind of, you know, just like, oh, this is a weird building. It's not really a secret. It's the Easter eggs we're after, rather more so than the secrets. Does this thing still fly? I hope so, because we've got a long way to go with this. Okay, so this one over here is apparently Lost Island. Lost Island we actually saw. I didn't realize it was an Easter egg or anything in particular. That's where there's the merman billboard, and we've seen this a couple of episodes ago. I think it's when we finished the Ronin quest. And islands are going to be like 90% of the secrets. So there isn't actually a merman specifically, but there is a lot of sea creatures. Oh, there is one particular sea creature of note out here in the world that we want to go and track down. So where are we heading to? We want to go... Where's the first island? So the first island is like... See if we can kind of triangulate this. I would say it's roughly about there. Going by this map. So the first step is go to Ruin Island. It's not necessarily to have been to any other secret areas prior to this. Okay, let's head to Ruin Island. Now, we have to do this in a very particular order in order to get the secret to appear, for lack of a better word. I'll keep my phone somewhere where I can see it as well. How are we looking? Right, let's head out. It's going to be a lot of just kind of experimenting, I think, and trying to track things down today. Trying to work out exactly how to do this. I haven't done this one, but I found one of the other really cool secret Easter. I will start calling them Easter eggs, because the secrets are like an actual in-game mechanic, like secret areas. But we'll start calling these Easter eggs. One of the other Easter eggs is very, very cool. It's a super secret area. We'll try and track that one down as well. And then we'll go to some of the other islands. There's something like there. What is that? Oh, you see that? It fucking disappeared. What the hell? Maybe we're a bit too high. Couldn't have tell how high we are without any sort of reference point. A little bit. Oh, there we go. So somewhere around here, out in the wilderness, should be an island. Oh, there it is. Oh, you know what? I wasn't far off. That'll do. Okay. I'm hoping this is the first one, the correct one. So this one here. Go to Ruin Island. Is that this? Is this Ruin Island? How are we supposed to tell? That's bad. Shit. Bollocks. Are you okay legally? Is everything fine? Well, we don't have a boat, and now we're in the middle of bloody nowhere. I'm not sure this is Ruin Island. It doesn't have any sort of marker or anything on it, which is a bit of a shame. So above... Yeah, I think we're on Lookout Island. I think Ruin Island is a little bit lower. So this one is... So that's where it's listed on the map. Okay. That's one of the points. That's one of the secrets is listed kind of over here. Ruin Island is... Yeah, I'd say pretty much bang on where I thought it might be. I think we're on somewhere called Lookout Island. Weird. Okay. We don't have a fucking boat legally, so... Oh, what's that over there? Is that a... No, that's like over the other way, but there is definitely something in the distance there, isn't it? Okay. Well, this could be Ruin Island. The problem is we're a bit fucking stuck now without a boat. See if I can call someone up. Homies. Can we call Tobias? Bollocks, because we've got Legal Lee with us. Well, I'll start swimming. And we'll see if we can find a ship. I guess that'll be a little bit easier. There's actually Suburbs dock there that we could go and grab. Let's head over in that direction. What was that, like roughly directly east? Yeah, there we go. Okay, whoops. Let's head over that way. Come along, Legal Lee. If we warp to shore. Oh, that was good. I thought he was about to fucking start throwing hands then. Okay, there we go. Right, let's go back to the dock. Let's buy the dock and see if we can do it via ship. 252,000 should be more than enough. And I think we start with a boat. We had one yesterday when we bought the yacht, right? We had, I think the Brotherhood had a boat that we got given when we defeated them. Probably a little bit easier than a helicopter, given that most of it takes place on an island. Oh!
See ya, chump.
See ya, chump.
They don't catch us.
I want to talk a little bit about kind of like final thoughts on Saints Row 2. I can't pinpoint, and I've been trying to think about this while I've been playing it over the past however long it's been. I'm trying to pinpoint what it is about this game in particular that I think I like the most out of all of the kind of open world kind of crime games, you know, like Grand Theft Auto, Sleeping Dogs, Driver, that kind of genre. I don't know what it is about this particular game. Oh, the boat can't spawn in because Legally's gone for a fucking swim. I don't know what it is about this particular game that won me over so much. Besides shit like that, which is phenomenal. I think we have to kind of break it down into parts, right? I think the gameplay is very generic. I think it's very generic gameplay. The gunplay isn't fantastic. The physics are a bit janky. I remember even in the actual proper release were a bit janky. What happens if I... What's this for? Oh, that's just for land vehicles. Got it. It's a bit janky. And obviously that wasn't the selling point, but it becomes more of a selling point in subsequent Saints Row games. In this one, it's nothing special. It does exactly what they intended it to do, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of quirky compared to, say, Grand Theft Auto. Let's go from here. Look, they've drawn kind of a line on this map that puts it kind of out here. Yeah, I think maybe there is a good one to try and aim for. But the gameplay loop is quite fun. You know, they do encourage you to go and do those side activities with the respect bar, which is essentially your currency. It doesn't do anything, but it just allows you to play more missions. You do have that kind of slower gameplay loop as well, by extent, because they've added that in. You know, they're kind of like, hey, go do some other shit. Don't just blitz through the missions. This is where it's supposed to be, but it's quite clearly not here. There is an island. You see over there. Maybe that's it. Let's head over there. Some of the activities are really fun. Some are a bit shit. Insurance fraud is obviously a classic, and I think it'll go down in history as being incredible. Is this right? It seems so far out. Oh, well, we'll head for it anyway. Some of them are a bit shit. I mean, Mayhem, you just kind of drive around and blow stuff up. That's not really very fun. Especially because they give you, like, infinite rockets, and there's not much challenge to it. But I think all of that is more than made up for by the story. I think the story and the writing and the characters are so fucking good. You know what I'm saying about janky physics? It's so fucking good compared to... Like, the characters are likable. It's comedic, but it's like, oh, this is Lookout Island. Oh, man, we're like... Oh, so Ruin Island is down here. Oh, man, this fucking map that's on the wiki is, like, way out of proportion by comparison. Jesus. Yeah, we need to head south, like, down here. So head down there first. The characters in the writing are so good. They're so well kind of personified. All of them are fairly unique. All of them are given kind of believable and unique characteristics. Even the side characters, you know, you've got like, so one thing we didn't really get to see much of was, you know, we saw a little bit of the Mayhem activity, I think, on one of the earlier episodes, with Jane Valderrama, even weird little side characters like that. It's almost kind of like, how do I describe it? I guess it's a little bit kind of analog to something like Simpsons level world building, where even like the weird news anchors have their kind of little quirks as well. Obviously, a character like Legal Lee returning from a previous game. It's just kind of fun to see those guys returning. Tobias, the pilot that we've kind of met every now and again. Oh, this is the super secret area. Okay, so this is one of them. Yeah, everybody's like... It's got a lot of depth to it for... Where it really didn't need to. I think people would have still massively enjoyed it if it was just a... Oh, come on, Legally. If it was just a kind of janky physics, open world romp, you know, like power fantasy type game. But the characters really just elevated to this whole new level. I don't think there were many misses with it. I think One of them was definitely the, I think that somebody, and I said this before, the Ronin's my favorite one because I think the characters in it are so good. Like, Junichi is a pretty good villain. He's like the no-nonsense fucking proper Yakuza enforcer. You got Shogo, who's kind of the playboy. They're all a bit, you know, they're all a bit crap and a bit cheesy. Then you've got the kind of old man Ronin boss and Mr. Wong coming back, and it's really well balanced. And it's really well done, and they can lean quite heavy into obviously what it is that they want, which is, you know, kind of a lot of cheesy references. There are voice lines that accentuate exactly that. Legally, you're getting right on my tits. Right, we're just gonna have a look around here without legally. Yeah, this is the ruins. So this is the super secret area. So we got the kind of Volition logo there. You've obviously got some stuff from the kind of Greek area. There's not really much else to see here besides the you get the kind of disc and like the weird Volition logo and shit, and the heavy breathing coming from somewhere, I assume. But yeah, this is kind of cool, and this is the kind of the start of the secret chain anyway. And there it is. Right, so let's head out. Is this where you see the sea monster too? There's like a sea monster skeleton that we saw. Yeah, like this big thing here. There's actually one of those alive in the water somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where. We might have to get higher up to see it. As if legally will let us. You'll see it because it's just like a big fucking fish. You really can't miss it. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we'll go higher. Might be able to see it if we climb up the island. Maybe that's what Legal is struggling with. Maybe he's being devoured by a giant fish. I'll tab to the wiki quickly. The Brotherhood is kind of the same thing in that you get these really well-built villains. Like, it's not just... You know, there's a massive grey area there in that Mero originally tried to work with your character and originally tried to be somewhat amicable. Obviously, it was unrealistic because the main character is unrealistic. Like, you're unreasonable is probably the best way to phrase it. Right, where's the super secret area then? Super secret area. Here we are. The sea creature. So I'm in a large circle near the island. Whereabouts? Okay, Volition Oasis. Yeah, there it is on the map. There's the big thing. There's a guy in a boat. Yeah, fine. Oh, it's you can see it from land on the island. Okay. It's like a big four-flippered thing. Not those. Those are regular fish. But you do get that kind of sense of maybe you're the bad guy, which I really do quite like as well. What the fuck? Get illegally. You kind of get the sense of, okay, we're being the dick here. Mero give you this offer. Your guy's obviously not up for it, so tells Mero to go fuck himself. Then starts tattooing him with, like, nuclear waste, and then they strike back, and obviously it escalates from there. But that was always quite a nice... I always thought that was quite a nice change of pace. It would have been way too easy to have, okay, here's an objectively evil villain 1 through 3 for each of the factions. You have to defeat them because you're kind of a good guy. But I like the fact that your guy was, you know, quite literally cast the first stone and was a massive cock. There it is, the elusive sea creature. You were the cock in that situation. Not the added choice ever. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Like a... That's it. That's all it was. Just a big fucking fish, basically. Kind of hard to get a sense of scale from up here. I think it might be a while before it comes back now, but... Just a big old fish, basically. Don't think I've ever seen that before, personally. Right, so this island is the start of the chain, so we have to be very particular about where we go now. We have to do it in the right order to be able to get to the next thing. So from here, we go to Ruin Island. Fucking hell, we went deep then. Now we go to Ruin Island. Sorry, the Lookout Island, which is the one we came from. Give me a second. And that's why I think the Samdi is weakest as well, going back to what I was talking about. Like, Mr. Sunshine is interesting, but didn't really do much. And the fact that he was subservient to the general as well didn't really make him very scary. He kind of just felt like a, you know, like the general's bitch a little bit. Was just kind of there as an enforcer, which was... He didn't really have much else going for him. And then obviously when it came to the boss fight was actually comically easy, that it really did undermine his entire character. I will admit the Mero fights And that's obviously something the game suffers from, and that's why I said it's a little bit janky to some extent. But a lot of the fights in the game are kind of underwhelming. But that's a limitation of the engine. You know, it's cheapy, janky gunfights. And that's all they were ultimately limited to. You see a big stark contrast in that with Saints Row 3 when eventually we do play that. Right, so now we go to Lookout Island, which is here. And then, of course, the General himself as a character was, I would argue, not really a character. Just an evil guy who drove around in a limo. They were definitely the weakest set of characters, which is a shame because they had kind of the most to offer in the kind of mysticism sense that they started throwing into them with obviously the voodoo aspect of things that Mr. Sunshine kind of touched on. Right, so we go to here after, let me just alt-tab again. Follow the arrow to an unnamed island. Okay. There should be an arrow on here. Okay. Is that this? It's an island that apparently normally does not exist. Follow the arrow. You see anything that might indicate an arrow? Legal Lee? Any help? Whenever you're fucking ready, Legal Lee. He's gonna get killed by one of these speedboats if he's not careful. Okay. I don't entirely know. Follow the arrow to an unnamed island. Follow the arrow to the final island. So it does say in it that these islands do not normally exist. So it's an island that will have spawned in, essentially, since we got here. I can't see anything new on the map. I have to look up a guide for this mid-episode. It just says follow the arrow. Obviously, that's an arrow that we've set, so take that with a grain of salt. There's an island there. It could be that, but I feel like we came from there, didn't we? Maybe. I can't see anything else, so I guess we'll try that one to start off with. If not, we'll have to basically do the whole bloody thing again. Oh, come on, Legally. You can do it. Come on. Swim around. I think we're going to lose him at this rate. He's stuck on something. Hold on. We'll go pick him up. Don't panic. Come on. Oh, he hasn't. He hasn't. Right, there he is. You want to... Come on. Come on, Legally. Get in. Right, okay. We'll try that island then, see if we can find it. Yeah, I think it's got to be that thing there. Because there's Ruin Island. Although I'm pretty sure we saw that on the way over. Fucking idiot. The whole ocean and you crash into me. So the villains are you know, they're okay. Obviously, the Ronin's super cheesy. The Brotherhood's a real good revenge tale. Oh, this is definitely not where we were before. Okay, there's another disc. Ruin Island found? Oh, this is Ruin Island. Oh, bollocks. That other one was the super secret area. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, that's good. Because that means that we know we're kind of on the right path. Okay, let's try it again then. So we go from here, back over to Lookout Island. Then we'll know if we've done it right, because hopefully another island will appear. Then we go to that one, and another island will appear. And then... It does say turn in the direction of the arrows, but there isn't an arrow. I assume at some point on the wiki there was another picture supplementary to this. Right, okay. We go here. Ooh, careful. He loves it. Can't see anything yet. Okay, well, let's get off the boat and see what we can find. And I do think one of the biggest selling points for why this game did so well is the... Okay, so that's where we came from. Is the Carlos story. There's the arrow. So that direction, that direction. Was that arrow there before? Oh, okay, okay, good shit. So that direction. Right, just to get an idea, let's face it. And let's just put a point. Right, so this way somewhere. So let's just put a point just kind of out here. I think the Carlos story was great. It really did establish itself quite well. It's a character that, you know, kind of in the same situation as the player. doesn't really know what's going on, wants to join this gang. You know, you're kind of in the same boat as he's learning as you're learning. So I suppose you can kind of personify it a bit like that. You know what? I think there was something in the distance there. Kind of hard to tell. Well, it's over here somewhere anyway. Not seeing anything yet. A lot of these things in the distance, I think, are just... Oh, there it is. Hey, good shit. Okay, follow the arrow to an unnamed island. This island does not normally exist. On there should be another arrow. Okay, there it is. See that? We gotta go this way. Do I have to step on the island first? We'll do it just to be sure, seeing as we're here. And then obviously when they build up to his death, which is like really sudden and unexpected. There's no hint of that. You know, you don't get the phone call before where it's like, oh, you don't get like some cutscene of them tying him up and whatever. You just kind of get there and he's just a fucking bloody mess on the floor. That for me was a big selling point for this game, because that's when it's like, oh shit, even though it's kind of ridiculous and obviously a Grand Theft Auto clone, as its big competitor was at the time, it still got this kind of unexpected depth to it. No Grand Theft Auto story ever had that same impact. There it is. Okay. And then you also get, you know, the same kind of thing in the Ronin storyline with Aisha's death, which is a recurring character from the first game as well. Okay, so we go here. And then pop off the boat. Alright. And we come up here. Nope. Oh. Oh. Lots of arrows now. Oh, there it is. Wow. What an achievement. Look at that. The Cabot. Hello. I guess just to really get your attention, take the fucking island away. You've got thalassophobia. You're probably shitting yourself right now. Go and see it. And there it is. Just a big inflatable Cabot. It's from another Volition game, apparently. We could take it back to the mainland if we wanted to. There we go. So there's the super secret area that we see in the Volition Oasis, and that's the secret... I've never actually done that before in Saints Row. The secret island chain to find the Cabot. And what else? There's something called Lost Island. Okay, we saw that. There's Bone Island down, like, here somewhere. That question mark on the map is a super secret area. So we're going to head back to that. And then we'll use that as kind of a point to go to the other places. I think ultimately that's it, isn't it, with this game? The story and the depth of the characters is just heads above everything else that was out at the same time. Obviously, I'm not saying that now, obviously, with open world games being the thing. You got Witcher, and I can't say much about Cyberpunk story because I never finished it. It's a more successful format for doing stories. Whereas normally open world, I guess it wasn't really the dumb thing, was it? Lots of open world games. I'm just trying to think back to what open world game had a pretty good story, but I really can't think of many. Again, of the era, what was it, like GTA 4? A story was okay. It was just kind of, you know, guys do crime because they can't do much else in this kind of oppressive country, and that was kind of all I really picked up from it. So this is, yeah, this is Super Secret Island. So from there, apparently it's even further off the map, where we're going to next. Area moved to the east. Oh, to fit it in their PNG, they moved it over. Right, I see. So the Bone Island is, they've drawn a point here, and they've put it directly east from that. So we're going to head like there. Now these ones should just be on the map, so we should be able to find them fairly easily. I think that's probably them there. Yeah, I mean, like the Fallouts, and what was this, like 2008? So Fallout, Oblivion, obviously a couple of years before. I don't know, they just did a really good job with it. Okay, so this is apparently Bone Island. Not really much to see here. Just a bone on an island. Very self-explanatory. What the fuck? Yeah, stay in the boat. That's probably a good idea with you. And then we'll head over to Shipwreck Cove, and that's all of the kind of random islands that they decided to throw out here. So the archipelago. Okay, and then we've got a final one down here. I think this is Shipwreck Cove. See if I'm in the right place. Is there anywhere else? Looking on the map here, we've got like a nuke launch room on the nuclear island, which we didn't really go to. Robot House, University Observatory. Yeah, again, a lot of it is just kind of external places. Downtown Highway Ball Courts. There's one called Cemetery Sex Cabin, which is quite literally just in the cemetery. There's a skeleton with like some blow-up dolls, and that's really it. Again, not really worth seeing. Kind of similar to Donnie's garage that we saw. That's quite literally it. Might as well get the CD, I guess. Oh, there's a little island there we can go and have a look around. And after all, we are pirates. It's my duty to see if there's any treasure. Can we climb up here? Bollocks. Legally, I might have made a horrible mistake. I think ultimately with Saints Row is you don't expect much from it. On its surface, it is just a Grand Theft Auto clone made at half the budget with less of a pedigree from a studio that, honestly, I can't even really name anything else Volition has done besides Red Faction. Even then, they're not the biggest games in the world, are they? I think it's the fact that you don't expect anything for them, for it to be so kind of unexpectedly deep. Like, the world building's really good. The city is, like, ridiculously polished. There was no need for them to put as much polish into it as they did. Sure, it hasn't got the size of Grand Theft Auto in terms of the actual map dimensions, but it's super, super dense, and there's so much weird stuff to find. It's a bit cheesy. The soundtrack's great. Obviously, I can't do that in videos. And the characters are great, and kind of the freedom to call up Legal Lee and take a fucking helicopter and smash it into a building or whatever, or call up Johnny Gat and drive around and do some weird side activities like Mayhem. It just really did. You built up a good rapport with all the NPCs, and it just felt like a... I think that's probably with like Grand Theft Auto is outside of missions. What could you do? You go bowling with fucking Roman or whatever his name was? And I think ultimately it was just a platform for fun, wasn't it? It was just it's just a something that you have fun with these weird kind of wacky characters. And I think they knew that was the strength of the game as well. You know, ultimately, I think Volition knew that was the strength of the game. I think they knew that's where they struck gold. The characters and the backstories and the kind of... the sandbox element with the kind of story blended in suited things. The only problem is they went too heavily into it. This game was good because it was grounded, because it had those harder hitting moments like the death of Carlos and shit like that, that it worked so well. When it came to Saints Row 3... that's when they already started losing. They lost a lot of the grounded elements there by having it so wacky, obviously set in the near-distant future, with kind of futuristic technologies and the kind of weird cyber gangs and shit. It already started getting a bit strange then. This fucking map marker is terrible. The fact that this just feels like kind of a modern-day city, you know, like a 2000 city with all this stuff going on, made it feel a lot more grounded and a lot more impactful as a result. Saints Row 4, obviously that... same kind of concept taken to the extreme, whereby the story at that point didn't really feel like it mattered because it was all just so ridiculous. The whole game took place in a simulation, so again, it, you know, but who cares if anything, who cares if Carlos dies, for example? It's a fucking simulation. I believe they actually bring back Carlos as a character, or Mero as a character, because it is a simulation. It might have been Gat Out of Hell as well, where Johnny Gat has to escape from hell. Brilliant. I'll be honest, I like the aesthetic of the whole thing. Like the weird kind of Greek museum for some reason, and the kind of, you know, the science museum and the tacky casinos and shit. It just kind of feels like, it's very era specific, and I like that. It does just feel like a regular old city, and I don't know what about the mundanity appeals of it so much compared to, again, Get Out of Hell that's set in hell, or the simulation that's set in space, but the mundanity just made it all grounded and more realistic. And maybe that's why it's got more of an appeal to it, because then it becomes an actual proper power fantasy. You know, there's only so much fantasy you can get out of... there's only so far you can stretch the fantasy before the power starts being heavily degraded, right? So there it is, Saints Row. I think there's much else for us to see here. Those are the kind of big secrets, the kind of hidden island. Bear in mind, you know, when I first found that, when I was first playing this game back in 2008 or whatever. I don't think I bought it at release, but you know, you're just driving around in a boat and you see an island. You're like, oh, I wonder what's at that island. You get there and it's like a cool oasis with a Volition logo and like this weird thing to it. It's really cool. And this does feel like a game where you could just kind of walk around the neighborhoods and kind of get lost and see a load of shit and find weird buildings. Like so many of the internal buildings too are actually, you know, they're actually present in the world. They don't just feel like big wallpapers like in Grand Theft Auto to some extent. You do just see NPCs randomly kicking around in their gardens, and you can just go into buildings, obviously buy buildings and shit. It just feels well involved. And that's why I like Saints Row 2. And that's why I'm hoping that the remaster comes sooner rather than later, because it is just a fun game to jump into and experience. I think if they took a game like this and they threw in more RPG mechanics, take this and throw in like, you know, some of like the, I don't know, some of the horrible dating mechanics, which they do actually add in future Saints Row games, and they're shite. But into this game, you know, throw in your character customization, which obviously they've got really well done. You throw in your kind of character dating mechanics and your kind of, it'd be nice if there was a bit more RPG in the sense of your gang management. Because it doesn't really feel like you're running a gang. It feels like you are doing stuff and a gang appears around you. Like you're doing all the legwork and the gang is just kind of there. Like it'd be nice if you could send your gang out to handle neighborhoods and shit and just kind of something like that to give that replayability. Because at this stage of the game, there isn't really much to do besides get lost in the game, or you do your side activities and whatnot. But that's kind of it. Anyway, on the subject of that, we need to go and do as a very, very final thing. Let's go and do that mission that I've started twice, and obviously, obviously both times it hasn't actually saved. So I think you have to do it immediately after you get the phone number. Where's the police station? Like here, I think. Yeah, I wish I could go back and play this game again for the first time. This would be one of the few games that I would actually want to do that. Play it again completely fresh. Because it's like that good. It's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. And I don't think I've done a good job of vocalizing why that is.
At least you can't sue us.
Like the voice acts and everything. It's just so good. Just bang on. I think a big part of it, actually, now that I'm thinking about like kind of the character customization aspect of things, the ability to pick the character that vocalizes you. Obviously, it's completely free-form character designer as well. You can maximize every feature, any feature. You can go real in-depth into it and kind of do whatever the hell you want with your character to represent you. And I like the personality side of things as well, whereby the voice also kind of offers their unique take on things. And maybe that's just like, for me personally, that's a bit more, kind of a bit cooler, because you can play as this kind of, even though obviously I'm not from London, I'm not a Cockney or have anything in particular in common with this character, but the fact that you can have a British guy hanging out in this world with all these characters who are unique is kind of cool, and I really like the way he fits, and I couldn't ever imagine playing this game with any of the other characters, because that particular personality brings such a unique twist on things. But there is obviously that option if you do want to play that, you know, if there is a personality that's closer to you. And you can obviously pick the male and female voices if you really want to, if you want to go for that as well. Where are we going? This seems like a real fucking long way around. Oh no, we're almost there. But as I recall, your character in Saints Row 3 goes mute again, don't they? They become kind of a mute, faceless protagonist? Kind of Gordon Freeman style? I really don't remember. The only reason that makes me think that is I remember the bit from Saints Row 4 where you're... Spoilers for Saints Row 4. You're elected president. Again, it gets a bit ridiculous, and you have to try and stop the alien invasion of Earth, and that's when you get put into the simulation anyway. So in Saints Row 4, the only reason I think you become a faceless protagonist again is because at the start of the game, you're given the option to either end world hunger or cure cancer, but you've only got the resources for one, because haha, very good. And... oh, fuck, they're shooting Legal Lee again. What is wrong with them? You're all fucking... Every time this happens. And yeah, I don't remember, like, I just remember that it's like X to cure cancer or triangle to end world hunger. I don't remember there being any voice lines. I don't think a character says, you know, let's go with this or that. I really don't remember at all. But anyway, that's the only thing that leads me to believe that they might have taken the voice lines out. Yeah, look, all this shit's come back again.
Dex? I know you're a cop.
We gotta listen to all this stuff.
What are you talking about? Come on, man.
But we'll also have to fight police while we're doing it, so, you know.
The police station thing is
No one's in
shitty,
Troy's office this time. What's going on there?
all over you. So, what are you gonna do?
Oh, look, it's like a mugger, I think,
I'm out, Troy.
that's been taken down by a police officer who's giving the lady back a necklace.
I'm going straight.
Kind of hard to tell.
Make sure that we're not gonna have a problem.
Legally. Fuck. It's always so good when they do that. The combat system in this game too. I know I said that mechanically it wasn't you know, it's obviously quite jank. The fact that you have the kind of human shield system, the throwing system, the combat system, by combat system I don't mean shooting, I mean like melee.
I was doing better before I got arrested.
And the AI has access to the whole thing is just fucking great. It feels so fluid rather than GTA that always felt quite stiff.
Let me help you out.
Up until GTA 5, where obviously they added all the cover systems and stuff that made it feel a bit better.
Okay? Now there's two ways that can happen.
Right.
You can arrest all of us.
Or you guys can quit while you're ahead.
Is it the second one?
This
Oh
is
god, there's
my
another one that goes
investigation.
there.
I can
Fucking
miss
hell.
a few collars.
Is there anything over here?
Dex is out of the
Achievement.
game.
We're proud of
You're in
you.
jail.
Oh, I can't read the rest of it.
Convince Johnny and your number 2 to drop their flags and
We
Saints will fall apart.
heard you...
Everyone goes home happy.
Oh, I wish I could read that. I don't know. Don't know what it
I
says.
like arresting my friends? Convince them to quit and I won't have to.
There's no way that player's gonna stop.
Make them understand.
Let's say I can. How do I know I'm going free?
I've already talked to the mayor. Hughes is willing to give you guys pardons.
I'll see what I can do.
Anyway, I'll explain all this crap again in a second. Obviously, I did it.
What was that?
The first time I did it around, I actually boosted all the audio right up so you guys could hear it. Because obviously there's no bloody subtitles for whatever reason.
Finished. Don't try to find me.
So yeah, just to recap, that's Troy, the guy who joined the Saints as an undercover officer, now chief of police. Basically told them, like, look, we know what you... We know about this. Dex is one added to your cell phone. It did say that before, and then it wasn't. I guess now we call Dex? Oh, there you go.
How you doing, player? If you've gone through Troy's files, you know that Julius set you up. Meet me at the old church, and I'll tell you where to find Julius.
Oh. Meet him at the old church. Altar Court Mission? Hey? Oh, that is at the church. Right, I see. Yeah, sorry. I thought that we'd loaded back to before we completed the game then for a second. What was I talking about? Right, yeah, okay. So Troy, chief of police, joined the gang undercovers, try and break it apart, realized that the Saints... the Saints were basically created as a way to try and take back control of their neighborhoods, which were overrun by drug peddling and whatnot. And I think that was the story of the Vice Kings. Like, the Vice Kings were very anti-drugs and refused to deal in it. So the guy who was friends with the leader of the Saints, basically... yeah, the guy who was the leader of the Vice Kings was friends with the leader of the Saints, refused to do drugs, the drug peddling, and then his, like, second-in-command overthrew him. And he comes back, actually, as, what's his name? I want to say it was, like, Benjamin King or something like that. He comes back as a character in future Saints Row games, anyway. Yeah, the Saints, because they were kind of these good guys in some ways, but still weren't above getting their hands dirty. You know, like the fucking murder and whatnot. Were basically offered, some of them anyway, were offered a pardon. If they gave up the gang life now that they defeated the other gangs too, because obviously then you've got... And that's how Altor took over, basically, because all the gangs were defeated. What was he talking about? I keep losing my train of thought because I'm, like, really fucking tired. Yeah, we're offered a pardon, but Julius knew that our character and Johnny Gat would never take working with the police. So Johnny Gat was put in prison, and he decided to basically send us to go and kill a bunch of people on a boat, and then he blew the boat up with us on it to kind of cover up everything in one fell swoop. And now we get to go and resolve that. So Dex was a member of one of the gangs as well. I think it was the Saints. I don't really remember. And he...
The fuck took you so long? You ain't Dex.
Neither are you.
You look different, did you?
I didn't do shit to my hair.
You pulling a gun on me?
Well, I didn't have time to plant a bomb in the church, so this'll have to do.
You don't know what the hell you talking about.
That's the guy who founded the Saints.
Why don't you educate me?
I don't gotta explain shit to you.
Well, this is where we're gonna have to agree to disagree.
Why don't you just put the gun down? We both know you're not gonna use it.
Not yet.
Stop!
I never thought I'd see you beg, Julius.
I'm not begging. I'm trying to talk some sense into you.
I'm done listening to your bullshit.
Put it together. Dex wanted us in the same place.
Yeah, and why do you want that?
Can we kill each other later?
Dex is now head of Voltor security. Legalese still here. I think we've talked about that before. Dex sent them a Sacco, so these are the elite guys that we've seen loads before. This isn't really too scary. Bear in mind, you could have done this at any point of the game, so if you started doing this with the game, because Johnny Gat tells you that Dex is chief of police, and your guy says, oh, I'll have to go and swing by the police station and give him a visit, you could have potentially done this as one of the first missions in the game, at which point it would be way more scary. But obviously we got all the damage reductions and shit now, so the Massacre really aren't scary at all. Was it Julius Little, I want to say his name was? Or was he Julius King? I really don't remember the name. Anyway. Yeah, that's the guy who founded the Saints. Oh. I actually don't remember this mission. I have done it before. I don't remember what happens. Okay. Hello? So, Dex is one of the characters that features quite heavily in the DLC, from what I remember, for this game. Hopefully, when they do the remaster, they'll throw that in by default, as they should. Hopefully, they'll do some better stuff for it, too, because somebody said it was quite disappointing in the comment section. Hello? Why don't we just leave? Or is that too much of an obvious question? Excuse me, legally. They keep coming in through the rafters and then standing up there. Hello? Oh, there you are. Okay. Oh, God. Yeah, I suppose if you did start doing this in the early game, that would have been pretty fucking difficult. Okay, what have we got? Die. Die. Ooh. Damn it. I'm not very good at shooting with a controller, it turns out. Not scoped, anyway. I actually bought a new mouse the other day because my old mouse, the fucking middle mouse button went on it. I use the middle mouse button for a lot of video editing shit, bizarrely enough. So I bought a new one. It's this, like, Logitech Superlight mouse. It was pretty expensive, but it was also on deal. I wasn't going to buy a mouse that expensive, but then I saw it was like 25% off, and I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. And it's supposedly top of the line. It had, like, the best reviews on Amazon, I think it was, or whatever. I was like, all right, fair enough. This thing is fucking light. Like, there is no weight to this mouse whatsoever. If I so much as breathe heavily, the thing's flipping around this screen. Apparently, when you get used to it, they're very, very good. But, you know, now I've just got to get used to it. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, he's stuck in the... Hey. Look at that hitbox, though. God damn. Shit hit all between his legs. That's great. Shouldn't use the expression shit hit between his legs. The bullet scattered between the hitboxes on his legs, rather than it just being one big hit blob. Hello, Julius. Why do we care if they kill Julius? Wasn't our guy about to do that anyway, given that Julius tried to kill us? Probably do it.
They're storming the front.
Fucking hell. Really does go on for a while. I think the point is we're fighting outside now, so we're almost done. Well, thought I got him. Come on, then. I love the SpongeBob scream, too. That you just hear from random pedestrians occasionally. Balls. Alright. Legally's just fucking in there. No, no private militia can stop Legally. What the hell's he doing? He's killing the taxi driver. Why the fuck did he do that? Cold as ice. I think they've all gone a bit mad. Okay, there we go. We've got one more coming in, apparently. We've got an attack chopper. I'm on it. No! Julius is down. Oh, God, where is he? There he is. Get up. Fuck! Oh, my God, we died right at the end? That's not my fault. Oh, is he going to start us from... Oh, fuck right off. Right from the fucking start. Are you kidding me? Okay. Bear with me. Yeah, anyway, this mouse is ridiculous. I feel like I should start, you know, playing more first-person shooters or something like that. Because that's... It had a load of esports logos on the box, and I'm like, I don't know who any of you people are. I just wanted it for video editing. I've never been able to get into esports. To be honest, I don't like regular sports, but esports especially, like even games I enjoy. Speedrunning is a different thing. I like speedrunning, but esports, I never could get into it. I think it's because it takes itself so deadly seriously. And I get it, you know, especially when they're running like the Dota, what are they called? Dota seasonals, and they're like 500k in the prize pool. Like, fair enough. Okay, you would take that seriously because that's a life-changing amount of money for everybody on the team. But the fucking, like, the epic gamer culture around it really does do my head in. Like, obviously, I'm not going to put anyone down for enjoying what they enjoy. However, I would never refer to my PC as a battle station. And, like, at least for one of the Razer Quartz mice, just like a pink, because you needed a new mouse. And again, that was another one that was on sale. Scan have a lot of good sales on peripherals. Not sponsored, but they are very good for that. It's like an 80 quid mouse, which is an absurd amount of money for a fucking mouse. But like, it literally came with a book, like a whole bunch of literature that was saying things like, this is your weapon or your tool or some shit. And with it, well, they have sent an attack helicopter earlier, apparently. They're like, with this, you are unstoppable. You are a warrior. And it's like, shit, I just want to play video games, you know? It's so fucking over the top, and I get it. Like, obviously that works. I don't know more than Razer's marketing department. Jesus Christ, the man is a savage. But holy fuck, it hurts. I know I'm not the intended audience. But those, again, I'm speaking very generally, and I don't want to put anyone down for enjoying what they enjoy. But you also find that it's, you know, there's a big overlap between that crowd and the gatekeepy style crowd of, you know, like PC versus console and shit. Like, oh, multiplayer on a console only getting X amount of frames per second. It's just, man, it's just toys. I said that in a video once and someone got real fucking pissed at me in the comment section. I ended up removing the comment because it was just basically calling me like these awful things and how about gaming's done so much for them and etc, etc. Again, I'm not putting down anything anybody enjoys, but if you're putting down other people for not enjoying it to the extent that you enjoy it, then there's definitely a problem, eh? It is just toys. But yeah, that was the same story about this mouse too. Where I opened the box and it was like, it was about how incredible this mouse was and life-changing and revolutionary, and all the pros use it, and I am now a pro. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, come on! Oh, it hits me with a fucking rocket, and before I can get up, it hits me with another rocket. Christ almighty. This sucks. This mission's fucking terrible. I wish we'd never done it. Also, don't fall for their marketing lies, okay? Just because you've got, quite literally, I've seen mice that were, while I was on my search, like 150 quid. You don't need that, okay? I always use budget where available. I bought some nicer things recently because, like, when it transitioned from being, like, a fun hobby to a job, That's when I was like, okay, I can justify the expenditure because it's like, you know, it is a luxury, but also I want to make working as pleasant as possible where I can. And for me, the investment on like a, you know, like a 60, 70 quid keyboard is worth it because it's a keyboard I use 12 hours a day. And if it goes clicky clack and makes me slightly happier because it goes clicky clack, fuck it. That's okay. But for years, I always used, like before YouTube became a job, I exclusively used hyper budget stuff like Technet mice, Technet keyboards, which is like a cheap Amazon brand here in the UK. You might have it elsewhere too. Real cheap brand on Amazon that sells like okay stuff, but you're never going to spend more than 20 quid on something they've got. And it works fine, you know? But when you've got the kind of, you're not an epic gamer unless you've got a Razer Mouse style crowd, that stuff fucks me off to no end. Especially because I did actually buy a Razer, maybe this is part of the bias. I did actually buy a Razer Mouse when I was like, oh, I don't know, I must have been like, it was a good mouse. It was like one of the earlier Razer Mice anyway. This was probably like 10 years ago now. And we're dead again. Fuck this mission. Fuck it. I don't care. You cannot send a helicopter that insta-kills me. Fuck off. And we'll never know what happened with Julius. Legally, he's fucking dead. Sod it. Anyway, I bought a Razer Mouse, like, years ago. And, it lasted, like, 2 weeks. And then the middle mouse button broke on it. And I complained to Razer. And they're like, well, sometimes that happens. But because you've used it, we can't guarantee that it wasn't you that broke it. And I was like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing with this fucking mouse? You know, frantically middle mouse clicking. Like, if it was it was like the main click that broke on it. Okay, that's a bit more reasonable. But my God. What I'm getting at is the money you spend doesn't always indicate quality. For a lot of the time, it kind of does with peripherals. But don't fall for their fancy marketing materials. Anyway, let's leave it there. That was Saints Row. I'm going to sleep.
Hate your service.
And we will return to Saints Row in the future with Saints Row 3. Probably not Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell, I'll be completely blunt. But we will do Saints Row 3. And I will try and recreate our man as best I can. I don't know why there wasn't a save import function. Maybe it's the fact that Saints Row 2 on PC is functionally useless. But I will try and recreate our man. I don't think there's a British voice, but we'll just, you know, it's set 10 years later, so maybe he picked up the accent in that time or whatever.
Hate your service.
But yeah, there it is. In my opinion, one of the best games ever made of its genre. For me, one of the best games I've ever made, but obviously I'm looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. Next up, a little bit of Skyrim.